It has been decades since defense spending was even mentioned as a main issue in a Canadian election campaign. Now, all four major political parties are promising a major boost.
To build back Canada's military capability, we face several challenges. The first is money.
To reach the NATO minimum of 2% of GDP, Canada needs to find up to $15 billion extra every year. Polling suggests a majority accept or support paying more in tax to give the military more funding. And that brings us to the next challenge, using the new money to rapidly buy new military equipment.
Our procurement system has been built to operate in a way that's slow, and we've lost that perspective about the importance of actually buying gear for the military as we satisfy all these other considerations and concerns. So if the next prime minister, whoever that might be, actually wants to see this happen, then they need to set a different tone in Ottawa.
Yeah, we don't even have to talk about ships or planes, the expensive stuff. I mean, what's the story with the pistols? Didn't they take forever?
Pistols took forever, truck projects took forever. I mean, there's a whole series of things the Army's trying to buy that it's had money for since 2017 and hasn't really moved very far. We have, for reasons that just astonish me, not been able to sign a contract to make more ammunition in this country, despite having ammunition production facilities, a clear need in Ukraine, and a clear need in Canada's own armed forces.
Next challenge, Canada's military is already really far behind. Canada has sent vast quantities of its own weapons and equipment to Ukraine, depleting our own resources without replacing them immediately.
So we actually don't have a lot on the shelf. The Defense Department's own statistics basically show that only 1 in 2 pieces of equipment or ships or airplanes are actually ready to go right now.
Canada's frigates, the primary ship in the Navy, are older than most of the sailors on board. Same can be said for the pilots of CF-18 fighter aircraft, and in both of those roles, there aren't enough people either. That strikes at what the military calls readiness, the ability to deploy soldiers and equipment when and where needed. It's supposed to be at 90%. Instead, it's been at 40%.
In no small part because the Canadian military is short 12,000 people. And the federal government had already proposed growing its ranks. By that measure, it needs vastly more personnel.
You can't flick a switch and turn somebody into a professional soldier overnight. How long does it actually take to price them into the system?
Well, it takes a while. There's recruitment, there's basic training. It's not just land, sea, and air anymore. There's cyberspace, land, sea, and air. So there's new forms of training that need to be developed, new equipment, new capacity, new security frameworks and security strategies that have to chart out the pathway.
In short, strengthening Canada's military is not just about spending money. It would be a gargantuan effort that would have to be approached with urgency, at the same time recognizing they could move fast on some things, but other aspects would take years to restore military capability.